Welcome back to SwitchCorner. It's Saturday, meaning it's time to pick out my favourite Switch eShop deals of the week, and of course I'm going to be looking at eShops across the US, Canada, UK, EU and AU. Now as always then, from last week's video we do have two winners to announce, and that's for two $10 eShop gift cards. We're going to be doing that as we go through the games today. For your chance though to win this week, it's simple as always. All you need to do, drop a comment down below and we'll announce the winners in next week's video. With that though, hit subscribe if you love the Switch as much as we all do here, join our growing family, and let's get started. So before we do kick things off, this week is a good one, but it is, as always, any price goes. If you want to see the cheaper side of the eShop, check out our Thursday edition, where we basically keep everything sub $10 or your local currency. Gotta say, with this video today, it's a lot of big games, but for every single game, this is the best price we've ever seen. So with that, look, onto the games. So first up today, a game I literally mentioned in our last Hidden Gems video, Dead or School. I mentioned sales wise, it's never happened before with this one, and you may be waiting a while. Well, guess what? Within the space of 24 hours, it immediately went on its first ever sale, and it's a good one too, 33% off. Here though, you're going to be taking on the role of Hisako, a young girl in a future world where mutants have taken over the planet and the human race now lives in bunkers and the old subway stations of the past. Her dream though, go to school after her grandmother clearly lied to her and told her that school was a paradise. This though, it all leads basically to you grabbing your grandmother's old school uniform, finding the nearest weapon to hand and just getting out there to save kids, find teachers and start the school of the future. Absolutely nuts, but the gameplay is a lot of fun in this Metroidvania style 2.5D side-scrolling adventure. Even the story as well, I actually found myself really liking a lot of the characters. It is indie for sure, the visuals just scream it, but I really think this one is worth a look, especially for any anime fans out there. So next up then, this is to me the big deal of the week, so let's get it out there now. Metroid 2033 Redux, and then the sequel Last Light Redux. Both of these, they're coming in with a huge 40% off, and you really can't go wrong with either game. With that said though, I will say, while they're obviously the same series, they are very different experiences. I think the first one, it opens up this world where we find ourselves in a post-apocalyptic future where humans now, they live in the Moscow underground to survive. Saying this out loud as well, I realised actually how similar it is to Dead or School in a post-apocalyptic subway station way. The story as a whole though, it's a lot more serious here as you set out to warn the remainder of mankind about this imminent threat. It is a first-person shooter, but it's not really of the run and gun variety. It's more challenging than that. Expect here though to be working your way through the shadows, taking out both humans and not so human enemies too. While you will though in this first game come across the odd open area, this is overall a very claustrophobic experience in comparison to the sequel. If this all does sound a little too serious though for you, I will say they've included a mode here called Spartan, which basically turns you into a superhuman, and you can play it a little bit more like a run and gun. Last Light, I'm not going to go into too much detail, but it's more of the same. But the story, it's more about doomsday devices, and it trades off a lot of that claustrophobic feeling for more open locations. And this one, I will say, felt more suitable for that run and gun style of gameplay if you want to go that direction. Either way though, you can't go wrong with either of these games. I strongly recommend them both, and port wise, these are about as good as they get on the Switch. Just stunning looking games, either docked or undocked. I even reviewed the first one over on the channel if you do want to check that out before you make the purchase. So before our first winner then, a game that caught me by surprise, but Star Wars Pinball, and it turns out I'm turning into a big fan of these Zen Studios pinball games. This was actually pretty much my first one with them, and I actually picked it up physical. I mean, it's pinball, so there's not a huge amount to say about it, but come here if you either pinball or you like Star Wars, especially though if you like both. Where Zen Studios really nail it for me, it's not just the solid physics and gameplay, but just the general effort that's on display. It's not just high score chasing, but these tables, they have so much happening within them and so many secrets to find. They even add in achievements to really get that gameplay loop going. These are not lazy games, they're not cheap games either. They really are just tributes to the movies, the shows, the cartoons they set out to represent. Here though, we're getting 19 tables and it's covering the movies, the TV shows, characters, locations, themes, and they are great fun, and even better if you have the option to play in vertical mode. There is a lot more content here than like meets the eye initially, and I picked this up discounted, nowhere near the steep drop you see here, and this all-time new low price makes it an easy yes if you like the idea. With this one though, I will say it's expiring quickly, so you do want to jump on it soon if you're gonna go for it. So our first winner of the week then, we got Zach Gray. Zach picked up the BioShock collection, which is a great choice, I gotta say. He did point out though, and these are his words, not mine, he's a big baby when it comes to dark and creepy games. Honestly, BioShock, just keep on pushing through. You will absolutely just not regret it. Drop me an email though, my contact details are in the description below to grab your gift card. Second winner coming up as always later in the video after a few more games. Alright, so Disney classics in the house now with Aladdin and the Lion King. This collection, it's coming in with its best discount yet, 40% off. These games, or at least Lion King, pretty much gave me nightmares when I was younger, because do not let that Disney name fool you. These are some seriously challenging experiences. Great platforming, beautiful visuals, but I would be surprised if you don't end up like screaming at your TV at least once when you're trying to make your way through them, especially as I say with Lion King. I'm not sure honestly if that game's a good memory or it in fact just like traumatized me in some way, and that's why I can remember it so vividly. This is a fantastic collection that's bringing together a few variations of each game, and then some real nice like behind the scenes extras, as well as some like quality of life improvements, think like save states. With Aladdin though in this collection, just know this, it is the Mega Drive or Genesis version, not the Super Nintendo build. That said, the Genesis Mega Drive version a lot better anyways, and let the comments below begin on that statement. Alright, so race fans, we spoke about the second game a few weeks back, but now we get the biggest discount yet for Monster Energy Supercross, the official video game free. They really need to show it on this name. Well, it's still not a perfect game though, and one I reviewed in depth over on the channel. It's about as good as it gets right now for Supercross fans on the Switch, even bike fans to be honest. Here they rebuilt the physics engine though from the ground up, and it makes a for sure noticeable difference. Graphics are still a little rough around the edges, but it's again the best it's ever looked. And then you'll also need to get used to a more muted color palette. They've definitely leaned a little more like into realism with this entry. Content wise though, you just can't complain with this one though. This is where this game is like king. Single player, local play, online, career, build your own track, and open world location called Compound. It even sees the introduction of female riders for the first time ever. It still has its problems, most noticeably for me a reduced number of riders on like track compared to other consoles, but I think they did good here and fans will no doubt be happy. 50% off though, look at the 6-month marks, and no doubt we're halfway towards that next entry. That seems to me absolutely fair. Alright, so my pickups of the week then, and I've got two for you this week. From reviews, I've got to say both of them seem a little all over the place. As always though, look, I haven't played them, so don't take this as necessarily a recommendation, but I like the look of them. I'm taking the risk, and maybe you'll want to join me for that ride. First though, we've got a game by the name of Another Sight. It's a puzzle platformer that I absolutely refuse to pay full price for, but now it's 60% off, so consider me in. Kinda to me gives me this like Alice in Wonderland vibe. I think it's like the main character's like overall look. But basically you're going to be exploring this like surreal take on Victorian England in the year 1899, and it's all been doused in like steampunk imagery. To add to the challenge though, our hero here, she's lost her sight, so you'll be teaming up with a mysterious cat to help you along the way. I'm curious to see how this kind of element, if it at all impacts gameplay, so yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing if I just wasted my cash or if maybe I should have picked it up, you know, a little bit sooner. So my second personal pick of the week then, it's called The Park. It's one I've always seen on the eShop, and the thumbnail, it has always intrigued me. It's what appears to be a Ferris wheel and then an angry squirrel like mascot for whatever this theme park is called. I've seen reviews with this one everywhere from 3 out of 10 all the way up to 9 out of 10. Some praising the horror vibe, others questioning what they just played. It's not a huge discount as it's rocking like 40% off on what was already a small price tag, but for me it's finally time to jump in. What's really more creepy than a theme park at night? So yeah, I'm actually kind of looking forward to exploring this world. My guess is it's similar to like a Layers of Fear, where it owes more to the walking simulator genre than anything else. This one though, it's even coming with a warning on the eShop page. This experience deals with subject matter that might prove emotionally distressing to some. So yeah, let's see what it's got and if this is all them just kind of build up it being scarier than it actually is. Alright, so before we do get to our second winner of the week, I want to quick fire through like 3 big releases that are on sale pretty much everywhere but the US and Canada. First, we've got VALKYRIA Chronicles 4. We spoke about the first one on Thursday's edition, and this game is just as impressive. Come here if you want to see kind of where the series, went next, where they just mastered the turn-based strategy and the stunning like watercolor-like visuals. To back it all up though as well, another fantastic story here, and we find ourselves following Squadron E of the Federation, Commander Claude Wallace and his friends to be exact, and they're basically, setting out to win this fight. Here though, expect tons of enemies and this really nice like snow and ice vibe to a lot of the experience. Very few out there will have a bad word to say about this one, and 63% off, best price ever, absolute must buy, everybody should own it. Alright, these last two then we're going to do them a little bit quicker, but they are very new games. Catherine Full Body, its first discount ever, and what a game this is. It's a surreal puzzle platformer where you're taking on the role of Vincent, and he basically finds himself in this weird like love triangle, and he's going to be battling against all sorts of demon like creatures that basically want to kill him in his sleep. It's twisted stuff, but up there as one of my favourite games of all time. There's just nothing else out there quite like it. 20% off though this soon after release. It is a solid deal. I reviewed this one over on the channel if you want to find out a little bit more about it before you make the buy. So finally then, for these UK, EU, Australia exclusives, Super Monkey Ball Banana Blitz HD. I'll say it now, it's not the best Super Monkey Ball by far, has more than a few issues as well thanks to its like original reliance on motion control, but you know what, I reviewed it on the channel and I still had a great time. Would I prefer an original entry? Sure, but you know what, this is better than nothing. The idea though is simple, you guide the monkey in the ball through a maze and occasionally you fight a boss, which I gotta say, those boss moments absolutely suck. By far the worst idea on show here. All in all though, honestly, it's just nice to play Super Monkey Ball again, and look, 50% off, it's a nice discount for a new game. So with these two as well, I will say now, I wouldn't be surprised if these do hit a sale in the US in the coming days, and if it does happen, I'm gonna add it to the comments down below the second it happens. Alright, so our second winner of the week now then, and congrats, it's going to Israel Rivera, who picked up Cat Quest 2, a great action RPG that just deserves everyone's attention. It sounds like Israel is enjoying it with the little one though, and that right there in my opinion is good gaming memories. Drop me an email though to grab your code, and congrats again. With that as always, and everyone else, drop a comment down below to enter for your chance to win, and we're going to be announcing as always 2 winners next week. Before we do get to the final 2 big games of the week then, while we're on the topic of cats, my pickup from Thursday's video was Cattails. I put the expiration on that game as August the 11th, which would actually be impossible unless you could time travel. The correct date for that one is September the 2nd, so you've got some time if you also want to add that game to your collection. Alright, so our penultimate game of the week, spoke about this one before, but a monster discount this time around, and a new all-time low, City of Brass. This one, it's coming from senior BioShock developers, and that quality just absolutely shows. It is a first-person action-adventure that's inspired by Arabian Nights, and it just hooked me immediately. Beautiful visuals, fun first-person that actually includes a lot like melee, and the controls, the platforming, it's all really tight. Basically, look, if you fancy a more serious take on like, let's say Aladdin, or even to a certain extent Indiana Jones, because well, you get a whip, this may be a good pickup for you, especially right now with the 75% discount they have on the table. I think it's honestly hard to go wrong at this price, and I love this game, especially in handheld. So my top pick then of the week, Operencia, The Stolen Sun, and I'm going to tell you now, this is one I keep coming back to, but I am yet to completely beat it. It's one they wanted me to review at release, but it's a monster game and I just couldn't find the time to get it, on the calendar. So sadly, I've just been kind of playing it at my own pace. This is only the second sale we've seen with this one though, and this is like the all-time new low, and yeah, this is addictive stuff as well. It's basically like a more modernized take on the dungeon crawling format where you can move and just look around freely. Great world though, turn-based combat, the visuals are, I'd say, decent, and then all the usual tropes, leveling up, puzzles, upgrades, the like. It's not going to change your mind on the genre. It very much feels like it was kind of, built by the fans for the fans, but I've got to say I'm really impressed. The story here as well is absolutely what just has me hooked, and you're looking at about 20 hours minimum to beat it, so you're for sure gonna get your money's worth. 40% off though, look, consider adding this one to the collection. And that's it though, another week down. As always, thank you all so much for joining me as we make our way towards 11,000 subscribers. It really is appreciated. A special shout out then to the patrons of the channel who are just going above and beyond to support SwitchCorner. Means a whole lot to me, so thank you all so much. If you want to check that out for yourself though, just check it out in the description down below. Then if you do want to enter this week for your chance to win one of those 2 $10 eShop gift cards, as I said, simple enough, drop a comment down below. With that, hit subscribe if you love the Switch, as much as we all do here. Join our growing family, and I'll see you all on the next video. Thanks everyone.